Today I want to talk about creating a safe space. So I've recently met an organization who unfortunately lost one of their employees to suicide. And it was a shock to the organization because they perceived to have a pretty open culture, but no one knew that this person was struggling. So then that begged the question, how open is the culture? And how do you measure openness? Is it that everybody is happy and everyone kind of speaks about comfortable subjects? Or are there spaces created for people to really get deep and speak about uncomfortable topics and things that are really bothering them? As human beings, we need a sense of belonging, and one of our human needs is to feel love and connection. And you can be surrounded by plenty of people, thousands of people, and if there isn't any love and connection present, you will feel lonely. And this often happens in organizations. People separate their home life from their work life, and they feel like they need to come into work with a facade and they need to be perfect, and they can't be seen to be struggling because that might go against them in terms of their performance. So they keep things to themselves, they struggle in silence, and then they go home and they might not want to communicate either because they're not heard, because there's tension in the relationships at home, or they don't want to burden their parents because there are other things that are going on in the house. So guess what? There's no outlet. So then their issues and their trauma bubble and bubble and bubble to the point where they can't handle it. As someone who has experienced depression, I know that one of the main causes is feeling misunderstood and feeling alone. So one of the things that you can do in your company to create that safe space for people is to have conversations that are uncomfortable, check in with people and find out how they're really doing. Not the, how are you doing? I'm fine, and leave it. Are you really fine? Is there anything I need to know? Really take time to probe and let someone know that you truly care and you're not asking from a place of obligation or because you have to. So there are different ways that you can create safe spaces within your organization, and you can collaborate with your employees to come up with unique ways for you to create those safe spaces. They would love to be able to contribute to that and see that you actually care. Doing that can make sure that people don't feel lonely when they're surrounded by their colleagues, and if there is anything going on, it can be brought to the surface and dealt with. An example of that is when I fell into depression working for the second employer that I had. I was going in every day, would have to run it into the bathroom to cry because I just was crying uncontrollably, and I didn't want anyone to see because, again, I didn't feel like it was a safe space. But the CEO noticed that something was wrong, and he took me to a meeting, private meeting, one-on-one. So he asked me what was wrong, and I genuinely didn't know what was wrong. There was just an outpour of tears, and I kept saying, I keep crying and I don't know why. And then he said, you might be suffering from depression. And my instant reaction was, no, I'm not weak. And he explained to me, depression is not a weakness. It's like a broken leg that needs time to heal. And he gave me time to do that. I had 2 months off paid, and he paid for 3 cognitive behavioral therapy sessions for me. And that really helped me understand what was going on in me, because I didn't know before then. But by asking someone how they really feel and creating that safe space, you can catch something before it gets too bad.